Fans of Kelly Ripa adore her for being honest and not being afraid to criticize her husband, Mark Consuelos, on their well-liked talk show. The live anchor recently opened up about her cosmetic procedures. What had she said then? Kelly Ripa's dynamic with Mark Consuelos is adored by her fans. For a long time, people have been huge admirers of Kelly Ripa. Viewers have been seeing her as part of their morning routines for many years, starting with her days sitting next to Regis Philbin and even Ryan Seacrest. But ever since her husband, Mark Consuelos, joined live as a co-host, viewers seem to adore the show even more. The husband and wife dynamic they offer to the show is adored by viewers. Although most morning talk show co-hosts get along well with one another, Kelly and Mark's show is different and continues to attract viewers because it has a real-life husband and wife partnership. Ripa is honest about cosmetic procedures. Kelly Ripa's "rip the band-aid" mentality is another quality that her admirers adore about her. She wants to get to the heart of things, even when they are difficult, and she doesn't mince words. The well-known broadcaster recently talked candidly about her cosmetic procedures. Ripa claims that she waited until she was 39 years old to have Botox, and even then, the treatments were administered in a strange location. To stop her from perspiring, Ripa had treatments applied to her armpits. Ripa finally received injections in her face after that, but she described them as extremely minimal. Kelly Ripa shares her plans for upcoming operations. Kelly Ripa continued by stating that she continues to receive Botox treatments and even made a suggestion about potential future cosmetic procedures. "It's a lot if I do it now 3 times a year," Ripa remarked. "I'm a minimalist." She does the 11s, the vertical lines between your eyebrows, the crow's feet, and the neck, according to Kelly. It appears that Ripa, who is now well into her 50s, still has some cosmetic procedures she would like to undergo in the future. The burden of being in the spotlight eventually tends to get to everyone, regardless of identity, especially as aging enters the picture. According to Kelly Ripa, she is somewhat interested in possibly having a minor facelift. Therefore, it will be worthwhile to monitor whether or not she follows through. For decades, Kelly Ripa has been one of television's most familiar faces. From her soap opera beginnings on All My Children to her reign as the effervescent queen of daytime talk shows, viewers have grown up watching her evolve. But with that visibility has always come speculation, whispers about how she seems to defy age, how her skin glows under studio lights, and whether her radiant look is all natural or the result of some well-placed cosmetic help. For years, Kelly laughed off the rumors, keeping her focus on her work, her family, and her whirlwind life in front of the cameras. But during a candid moment on Live with Kelly and Mark, she finally broke her silence, addressing the subject head-on. The build-up? The segment started innocently enough. Kelly and Mark were discussing the growing popularity of skincare routines on social media, with influencers promoting everything from serums to elaborate 10-step regimens. Mark, ever the teasing husband, joked, "Kelly has a 7-step routine. Step 1. Yell at me for forgetting to moisturize. Step 2. Use something that costs more than my car." The audience erupted in laughter, but Kelly suddenly grew more reflective. She looked directly into the camera, her voice shifting to a tone that was both firm and vulnerable. "Okay," she said, "I think it's time I set the record straight. Because people have asked me for years, sometimes politely, sometimes not, about whether I've had cosmetic work done. And I'm going to answer." The room went quiet. A carefully considered admission. Kelly smiled, nervously brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "The truth is, yes, I've had some work done. And no, I'm not ashamed of it." She explained that, like many women in Hollywood, she had felt the pressure of cameras, HD screens, and constant public scrutiny. But her decisions weren't about vanity alone. "When you work in television, every little line, every late night, every stressful moment, it shows," she said. "And I started feeling like my outside didn't always match how I felt on the inside. Inside, I have the energy of a 25-year-old. Outside, sometimes I looked like I hadn't slept since 1999. The audience laughed warmly, but Kelly's honesty was striking. The specifics. Kelly didn't shy away from details. She revealed that she had tried Botox in her forehead and around her eyes, particularly during seasons when her schedule was grueling. It was like a little miracle, she admitted. I could smile on camera without looking like I was about to collapse from exhaustion. But I was careful. I didn't want to freeze my face. I still wanted to look like me. She also acknowledged experimenting with small amounts of filler at different points in her career. Gravity is real, guys. And I don't have the kind of time, or frankly, the discipline, for a full facelift. So yes, a little filler here and there. Think of it like maintenance, the same way you might get your car tuned up. Mark, sitting beside her, chimed in with his trademark humor. For the record, I never noticed any difference. She looked gorgeous before, gorgeous after. Sometimes I think the only person who notices is her. Kelly rolled her eyes but smiled. You're sweet. But trust me, women notice. We notice everything. The bigger conversation. Kelly made it clear that her choice was personal, not a prescription for anyone else. I want to be very clear, she said. You don't need Botox or fillers or anything to be beautiful. I don't think anyone should feel pressured. For me, it wasn't about looking younger. It was about looking like I still had the energy I felt. It was about feeling confident when millions of people tune in every day. She took a deep breath. And I also think we need to stop shaming women, celebrities or not, for what they choose to do with their bodies. If you don't do anything, people criticize you. If you do a little something, people criticize. You can't win. So you may as well do what makes you feel good. The audience applauded, some even standing to cheer. Fans react. Social media lit up almost instantly. Fans flooded Twitter and Instagram with messages of support. Kelly Ripa just admitted she gets Botox and I love her even more. She's real about it. Refreshing to hear a celebrity be honest instead of pretending it's all kale and water. Kelly showing us that you can take care of yourself without apology. Icon. Even celebrities joined the conversation, praising Kelly's transparency and calling her admission empowering. Facing criticism. Of course, not everyone responded with praise. A few critics online accused Kelly of giving into Hollywood beauty standards or sending the wrong message. But Kelly, never one to back down, addressed those comments too, directly on the next day's show. I read the comments, she said with a shrug. And let me just say, I don't owe anyone an explanation for my choices. Nobody does. You want to age naturally? Beautiful. You want to get a little help? Also beautiful. The only wrong message is pretending women have to look a certain way to be valued. My message is, do you, full stop. The audience roared in approval. Mark's perspective. Through it all, Mark was her biggest supporter. On air, he wrapped an arm around his wife and added his own heartfelt take. I've seen Kelly go through every stage, soap actress, mom of 3, morning host. And what I can tell you is this, her spirit, her humor, her heart, that's what makes her glow. The rest is just window dressing. But if a little window dressing makes her feel great, then I say, why not? The couple shared a playful kiss, sealing the conversation with love and laughter. A turning point. By breaking her silence, Kelly inadvertently sparked a larger cultural moment. Beauty experts began discussing her honesty in magazines and podcasts. Dermatologists applauded her for removing stigma around cosmetic work. And countless women on social media admitted they felt less embarrassed about their own choices after Kelly spoke out. She had turned what could have been a tabloid rumor into a moment of empowerment. Kelly's final word. At the close of the week, Kelly addressed her viewers with one final reflection. Look, she said, smiling warmly, I'm 50+ years old. I've lived, I've laughed. I've raised 3 kids. I've worked on TV every day for decades. If I have a little help along the way, well, that's just part of my story. But I promise you this, what you see on this stage every morning, the jokes, the joy, The chaos with Mark. That's the real me. No injection can fake that. The audience stood and applauded, not just for her candor, but for the way she had once again turned vulnerability into connection. Epilogue. In the days that followed, Kelly's words continued to ripple across social media. Memes popped up with her quotes, beauty blogs praised her honesty, and fans joked about scheduling their own maintenance. But beyond the humor, her message resonated. Beauty isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity, choice, and confidence. And in breaking her silence, Kelly Ripa had proven, once again, that she wasn't just a host. She was a voice for honesty in a world that often expects women to keep their truths hidden. Because sometimes, the most beautiful thing isn't flawless skin or a wrinkle-free forehead. Sometimes, it's simply telling the truth.